Hello everyone, welcome to another video on Mudgas Musings, a channel dedicated to increasing your productivity, your well-being and your prosperity. And if this happens to be your first time here, consider subscribing because I keep posting one interesting video every single week. And in this video, we are going to be doing something very different. I am going to be interviewing and asking some questions to my acquaintance, Mr. Raghavendra. He's joined us very kindly, to be part of this video. And we're going to know how he's been investing, what are his future plans, and how he makes use of his money, and how he is making his money work for him. Now, before we proceed with the video, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out anything exciting on this channel. Let's get into the video now. So, Mr. Raghavendra, tell us about your career since 2013. I think it was in 2013 that you got into the job for the first time.
Yes. First of all, Ramesh, thanks for having me. As someone who has been watching your videos on your channel for a long time, I'm very happy to be sharing my experience in this channel. So, yes, you're right. It was in 2013 that I graduated, and I've been working for a software company since then.
Great. So he started his career right after finishing his engineering from RV Engineering College. One of the toppers in that college itself. In fact, after he graduated, he's been with Cisco. Very steady career for for somebody who belongs to a very young generation of this time, because software engineers keep changing their companies quite often. But he's been with a company for quite some time. Now, moving on to the next question. Mr. Raghavendra, it has been 8 years since you started working and you still don't own a car or a bike. Why?
Yes, it's a very funny story actually, because when I was in engineering, I used to always pester my dad to let me buy a Bullet bike or Royal Enfield bike. But the moment I started working, I stopped that demand and didn't even buy it myself. So when my dad asked why don't you buy one with your own money now that you are working, I said no, it's a waste of money, it's a depreciating asset. So that is the reason why I don't own vehicles. First of all, I don't like spending my time driving or riding a bike, and second thing is those are depreciating assets.
Okay, so that's a very unusual thing for a young person, a young chap to say that he considers the bike and a car as a depreciating asset and not a money making asset. Now, the third question. How do you manage your money? I'm sure as a software engineer, you must be getting a decent package, your monthly package. So what are your strategies, or how have you bifurcated your money?
Yes, so this is something that I initially struggled with early in my career. So I used to just be one of those people who struggled at the end of the financial year to invest in something to save tax. So that was me in the first few years of my career. But after doing some personal finance studies, I realized that saving is not something that you do at the end of the financial year to save tax. It's something that has to be done as part of your monthly spending habits itself. So what I do is, when I get my salary, the same day itself, I set apart the money that I am supposed to invest and only spend from the rest.
Okay, I think that's a very clear message that we're getting from someone who has actually managed his money very well, because right from the time he gets his salary, I think he sets apart a certain amount of money, which is as a part of his investment strategy itself, for investment purposes. And that's very interesting. I think at a very young age, if he's getting into the habit of a very good financial planning and investment planning, I think he's going to make his money work for him very effectively. Now that brings me to the next question. While there are many investment avenues available and many investment instruments available, I have seen and I've heard that you are heavily invested in the stock market, the equity market. What prompted you to look at equity market as an investment strategy?
Yes, a very good question. In fact, even at the beginning of my career, I had plenty of other suggestions given to me. Why don't you invest in this real estate market? It's supposed to be booming. And why don't you invest in other avenues like debt or other kind of. But what I found after doing a little bit of research is there's a lot of red tape involved, at least in India, when you do real estate investments, and they're kind of illiquid. So among the asset class that I researched, I found equity to be the most transparent and also the most well regulated. So equities is the one which I trusted the most. So that's why I went ahead with equity.
Liking that, actually, that means you have done a lot of work in terms of studying the various asset classes available, and you chose equity as the most appropriate asset class for you. So that's very smart of you, Mr. Raghavendra, indeed. Now, I'm sure when you started your investment journey and when you started investing into stocks, probably you had your own apprehensions and questions in terms of how it is going to pan out. Tell us something about your first stock buy. So way back, look
Yes.
into your memory and let me know how you felt, what it was, and things like that.
Yes, this is something which I keep reminding myself. So the very first stock I started out with was Reliance Power. So it was something, as usual, everybody starts off with investing to make some quick money. Even I did the same. I saw this hot tip from my broker saying, buy this, it will be up 20% in the next week. So I bought some shares of Reliance Power, and I hold them even today. When it's I bought it at 50 rupees, and I think currently it's at 3 rupees. I still haven't sold them, as a stark reminder that don't chase tips. Don't try to make a quick buck in the stock market.
Wonderful. So you are kind of in a way, value investor or a long-term investor, and you don't believe in making money, quick bucks in the stock market. And that's a fantastic realization for a young person, because most of the youngsters here are after the money very quickly. They want to become millionaires overnight or very, very short period of time, and they want their money to become double, triple or quadruple in a very short span of time. But making money is not about making quick money. How we stay invested in the market or stay invested in any asset class that we have invested in, let it appreciate and let it play out. So that's a very interesting strategy. Now that brings me to another question. I'm sure over a period of time you must have put in a substantial amount of the income that you have got from your job as a day job. So how do you choose, or how do you plan your portfolio? How do you actually divide the kind of stocks that you wish to buy?
Okay, so the portfolio that I have is need based. So I currently, suppose if I were to reinvest for my retirement, that goes into my retirement portfolio. If I were to invest for a vacation, that goes into my vacation portfolio. If I want to save for a down payment on a house, that goes for a down payment on the house portfolio. So depending on the time horizon at which I'm going to have to redeem the investment, I decide the stocks that I'm going to buy. So for my retirement portfolio, I choose stocks that have been consistent compounders for the last 10-15 years and will be consistent compounders for the next 10-15 years.
Okay, that's a very smart way of actually deciding. So he's basically pointing out that when he said need based, he actually means it is a goal based. He has certain specific goals in his life. One could be a retirement, the other one could be clearing the debt that he has on the house or home loan, and maybe for education or family or any other. So there is a very specific goal, and for each of these goals he has his investment chalked out very clearly, and he is very closely monitoring them. That's very impressive indeed, Mr. Raghavendra. One very tricky question. Are you happy with the return on investment that you have been receiving so far?
Well, initially I used to always wonder about this. Are my returns good? Should I reconsider my strategy? I saw someone has made 70% this year. I have only made 20%. But what I've realized after a bit of elaboration and research is it doesn't matter what return others are getting, whether the return that you are getting will enable you to meet your goal or not. So I focus on that. And over the long term, I see whether I am beating or at least my returns are consistent with the market.